This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
You all ready for this?
This is a sham.
No.
Nope.
Y'all, just stop.
Get real.
Welcome to DBL. I'm Sam in for Tori. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood because it's Al Jackson's birthday.
I appreciate you guys. Yeah, I've already kicked it off the right way. You know, I went to Home Depot this morning. Yeah.
You were up and at 'em.
Yeah, early. You know, I was getting my daughter's room ready and getting my studio ready. So that's the way I enjoy Home Depot. That's my thing.
And your kids are probably still asleep, huh?
Oh, yes. Yeah, they wake up around 1 o'clock. So we got some plans tonight. And they're ready to go at 1. I'm like, I'm exhausted. So we'll see how those two things meet. But I'm excited. Thank y'all.
Well,
Happy
we hope you have a
birthday,
great
buddy.
day. We love you. All right, you guys, we got to talk about something very important, and it's also pretty polarizing. It is an end of an era. The Supreme Court just voted to end affirmative action. The court's conservative majority voted in favor of doing away with the admissions policy at Harvard and the University of North Carolina, and will most likely end at most colleges and universities around the nation. Now, if you're not sure what affirmative action is, it was a policy meant to reverse decades of discrimination against Black and brown people being admitted to college. The policy allowed schools to consider someone's race as a factor in college admission, which helped to increase diversity on college campuses around the country. Chief Justice Roberts wrote in his opinion, quote, "The student must be treated based on his or her experience as an individual, not on the basis of race." So I know that a lot of you have opinions on this. What do you think of the Supreme Court's decision and the fact that affirmative action is essentially over? Please let us know. Erica, what are you thinking?
I think this is a very interesting topic because people think of affirmative action and they automatically think of race, because that's the PR standpoint of people who are against affirmative action. But the truth is, affirmative action in this country has disproportionately benefited white women more than any other group in this country. In 1964, the Civil Rights Act was only allowed to say sex because they were trying to sway anyone who might have had a bigoted view or thought that this was ways to contribute to the furthering of Black and brown people in this country. And so therefore women and white women are included in that same class of people as Black people who were not allowed to vote, were considered property themselves. And so we're all in the same boat here. By the year 95, 6 million white women held jobs that they wouldn't have had other than affirmative action. So they benefited in that way again. By 2012, white women enrolled in college at an average of 72% more than 72% of women versus 62% men. So when we're having this conversation, everyone wants to make it racial, but at the end of the day, it has to do with everyone's talking about feminism, women's rights, and it's exactly. So it's about taking away the stereotypes and the stigmas that have been ingrained in our country as barriers for oppressed people, white women included.
Right, but white women benefited the most.
Right, and white women are also the loudest opponents of affirmative action.
Which is, it just goes to show how white supremacy is still alive and well today. It hurts all of us, it really does. But what are your thoughts on this? I have some more additional facts, but I'd love to hear from both of you first.
I think that was really wonderful what you said and really pinpointed what it is all about, but I'm more of like, well, I'm going to make it like this. But I think it's more just about let's hire people, let's let people into the college based on their qualifications, right? I think the big part of this has nothing to do with black and white, because I think that's the immediate subject people jump to when they think about this. I think Asians were discriminated against specifically at Harvard because they were only allowing a certain amount because they were the ones that qualified the most. And then they put a cap on how many Asian people were allowed into Harvard, right? Because everyone wants that education. That shouldn't be the case. If they qualify, whoever they are should be able to get into that university. If you are qualified to have this job, it doesn't matter what your race is, what your ethnicity is, what your sex is. If you're the most qualified for that job, you should get that job. And again, I'm not saying there wasn't a place for affirmative action, because there's definitely racism in this country still, and there much more so was in the past, but now we need to start looking at qualifications for the job.
Jeff, I appreciate you speaking your mind. You bring a side of the show that's very necessary, and I appreciate you saying that. I think when I look at this conversation, I just have questions. Like, you know, Justice Roberts said it should be based on the individual but not their race. How could you grow up in this country and your race not play a factor in your experience in this country? No matter what race you identify as. I don't see how those two things are separate. And I don't pretend to know any facts. I just know what my eyes see. And if you go 2 blocks down the street to Cherry Creek, you see Whole Foods, you see the beautiful buildings, everything's in glass. If you go to where I used to live on 8th and Broadway, there's a Salvation Army over there, and they're heroin addicts. Are you telling me that even though those two things are maybe 6 minutes apart, that we expect the same outcome for a future of a kid that grew up in those two separate areas? I don't understand how we can expect that. So ideally, in a perfect world, I would love to have everything based on merit. We don't have that luxury in this country. People came here under different circumstances. People look differently. We have different ideologies about what a woman's place was. Even in my mom got her PhD in 1990, in the 90s. And people told my grandmother, how does she expect to get a man now? In the 90s. So it's like, how do we expect there to be a different...
Aren't you kind of talking, though, about social class then, right? Yes. Not so much ethnicity or sexuality. It's more social class. If the poor aren't given those opportunities. I think you make a fantastic point, because that's never going to change. Until we change the distribution of income in this country and give poor people a better chance, that's never going to change. That's always going to stay the same. I think that's much different than affirmative action. I think that has to do with social classes.
It does, yeah. And I agree with you. So I'm saying once we make the changes on the ground,
right,
and we all agree everything is equal down here, then let's make everything equal up here. But if people are coming from different levels, we have to kind of have striations in terms of understanding that people are coming from different levels, but it doesn't mean they're any more or less of a student. It just means that they might be, you know, getting their Wi-Fi from standing outside of a Taco Bell, not inside.
And their education qualifications weren't.
That's what a lot of the education experts are bringing up. A lot of the professors are bringing up, and they're saying this is rolling back our progress,
right,
and that this is becoming a slippery slope. Soon we're going to see it in our very own workforces.
I saw it as a middle school teacher.
Sorry, go ahead, Eric.
No, I do want to say, because we're going to keep this conversation going on our YouTube channel, because I do believe that at the core of this, starting at the university level, is a PR move by higher education, because enrollment is way down, and I'll get more into that in the YouTube.
Yeah. All right, make sure you stay tuned. Tune into our YouTube right now. We'll be right back. Good conversation.
DBL, this show is amazing.
There's a lot going on down here.
I would have been part of the Mile High Club.
Yeah.
So on point. But I'm going to have a conversation about what's happening now.
Yep, we're live. Okay. Thanks.
Yeah, so as a lot of you may or may not know, enrollment in higher education is down. And a big part of that has to do with the cost of higher education and the fact that you're paying $20,000, $30,000, $50,000, $80,000 a year to attend a university, only to graduate and receive a job that's $50,000. You're completely under when you're graduating. Another part of that is there is a system that's in place, and there's this really amazing podcast called Holding Court with Ebony K. Williams, because she does such a great job of breaking down these structures and systems. But we're talking about where there's a stigma in this country about, okay, so if you're going to go to a university of higher learning, are you going to an Ivy League university? Are you going to a state-funded university? What university are you going to? And it's also contributed to the dissemination of local colleges, when in fact you could get all of your prerequisites done in a local university or a community college, and then transfer to one of these higher educations or transfer to a four-year university and get the same degree. So there's always been this kind of structure as to the hierarchy of higher education.
I believe that's what our executive producer Chris's son is doing. And I think it's a great idea. I've talked to my daughter about that.
Yeah, a lot of my friends
It's like if you're going to take the general ed courses, knock out biology, English 101, and
like
not
the
pay
first 2 years.
$160.
Go to your local community
Right.
college, transfer in.
Or it's starting high school too.
Right, a lot of kids do today.
Do you think just the way universities are kind of run and maybe the stigma they have, I don't know, I haven't been in college in a long, long time, but I definitely know it's the pricing and you don't want to come out of college with a debt, but the way kind of they're teaching in universities seems to be a problem as well.
Well, college used to guarantee you a job.
Welcome back to DBL. A lot of you are talking about Madonna today. She was hospitalized in the ICU for several days with a serious bacterial infection after she was reportedly found unresponsive and had to be intubated on Saturday. Madonna, who is 64 years old, has been preparing for her upcoming Celebration World Tour that was set to kick off next month. But now that's all been put on hold. Her longtime manager posted about it on Instagram saying, quote, her health is improving. However, she's still under medical care. A full recovery is expected. There are also reports that her family, including her children, have been by her side, but they all had a serious scare. As one family insider said, quote, we all believed we may lose her. So what do you think when you heard this news, just learning that she was in the ICU and intubated? That means being on a ventilator. To me, that seems very grave, and I'm so happy to hear that she's expected to make a full recovery.
Right.
What do you think led to this?
You know, it can be stress, and it can be the fact that she is 64. You know, there's no shame in getting older and slowing down a little bit. And we look at our folks getting a little bit older. I'm sure you make sure Dr. Cobb's coming in, make sure she's, you know, hey, Mom, chill out. Let's relax tonight. We'll do breakfast tomorrow. Same with your folks. Cute. Just imagine your mom or your mom going on a world tour at that age. Can we stop for a second? We live in this world of platitudes, and like you can do it, and age isn't nothing but a number. I feel it. I used to be able to fly cross country, New York to LA, go straight from LA, straight from LaGuardia right to the stage and go do stand up and hang out all night. I need a day now at 46. So maybe it's just biology at this point. Kabi?
Well, yeah, it's also, you know, I think there's a certain pride that people have in being able to continue on doing what they're doing. Unfortunately, there was a 66-year-old mail carrier who passed away because of the grave humidity conditions in Texas right now, and he had been doing this job for over 30 years, and it was the heat that took him out based on him doing what he's been doing his entire career. I've had several conversations with my mother. Ultimately, the government and how our system is set up was really what was most helpful to get her to retire because it was a money thing. But she retired years ago, and she's still going to Broward County and doing things now voluntarily in school systems because she doesn't know how to stop working. Yeah. And I think we all can understand
I think that's a tag of that generation.
Yeah, my grandmother, I remember on my dad's side, was mowing her lawn at 90.
Right.
Just because it just, if you keep going, you know, I think that's in a way good for you. But to the extreme, it's bad for you, right? In Madonna's case.
I'm going to play devil's advocate here because Madonna, we know, lives and breathes and loves her music and her tour. And we've heard a number of her interviews leading up to this tour that she's so excited to be on stage to see her fans again and sing with them. So do you risk your health when this is what you love to do?
I think you do.
I can't blame her.
This is what, you know, it's hard to take people away from the game, Michael Jordan away from the game. She's a Michael Jordan of basketball, right? Maybe not. That's debatable.
Yeah, but
yeah.
We get what you're saying.
Yeah, he says, yeah.
I get it.
Michael's the man. Michael's the man. Yeah, Michael's the man.
I think it's a big
But
conversation.
I think it's hard to stop somebody that's a legend and they've been doing it their whole life. Even if they know they're slipping, people still just want to see Madonna. It might be the last chance she goes on a world tour. People just want to see her, and she might just be putting too much into it.
Right. We'll have to wait and see. But man, our thoughts and prayers are with her for a full recovery. Coming up on DBL, our interview with survivalist Bear Grylls. What's the craziest thing he's eaten out in the wild?
Summer vacation season is in full swing, and as families head to the beach, you may have heard the old advice. If you get a cut walking on a shell, or maybe you just have a blister, go rinse it in the ocean. The salt water will clean the wound. So, does ocean water actually help to heal cuts and scrapes? Let's verify. Our sources are Dr. Allison Harvey, emergency medicine specialist with Prisma Health, and Brian Rabin, the manager of the Aquatic Sciences program with the Bureau of Water with the South Carolina Department of Health and Environmental Control. Let's start with the water. During the peak summer months, scientists from DHEC study bacteria levels in the water off South Carolina's coastline.
One of the staff members goes out to one of these stations, and they actually go about knee deep into the water. So you get where children could be playing and starting to get their heads under the water. And so that's where we choose that depth for the collection.
And per EPA guidelines, if the sample comes back more than 104 colonies per 100 milliliters of water, DHEC issues a short-term advisory. Dr. Allison Harvey says one bacteria in the water called Vibrio can send people to the ER.
The most concerning one that I think a lot of people have probably heard of is Vibrio. What a lot of people don't realize is you can catch these same Vibrio bacteria in the ocean, and they are very common contaminants, particularly in the summer and in warmer waters.
So why all the confusion about salt water helping a wound?
It depends on if the salt water is sterile or in an ocean, because we use sterile salt water in the hospital all the time.
So we can verify, while sterile saline water is good for cleaning a cut, the ocean water is not. But Dr. Harvey says not to let that ruin your trip to the beach. If you do have an open cut, make sure it's fully covered. With your Verify, I'm Andrea Mock.
Welcome back. Bear Grylls has done it all. He swam under ice in negative 40 degrees, jumped out of helicopters straight into oceans, and he's eaten some interesting things to survive in the wild. Earlier, we chatted with him about his newest show with a star-studded lineup of guests braving the elements with him. Check it out. Bear, you are so cool.
Yeah.
You really are. Okay, so we've been talking a lot about high-risk adventures since, of course, the Titan sub tragedy. When you climbed Mount Everest, did you see anyone that paid to be there that, in your opinion, shouldn't have been there?
Less so. You know, this was back in 1998. The mountain was pretty free of a lot of people. I mean, I think, you know, 5 or 6 people climbed it that season. We had 4 people lose their lives up there. Yikes. 2 died of the cold, wow. 2 fell, and 2 of us from our team reached the top. So it was a whole different kind of setup before a lot of the big commercial expeditions really started to ramp up. But, you know, it's in our DNA as humans to be pioneers and risk takers, and I think, you know, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. You know, obviously at the extremes ends of that, where you've got a lot of money involved and a lot of extreme adventure, extreme risks, it's always going to get a little foggy, maybe, that area. But I think in terms of how we live our lives and how, as parents, we try and encourage our kids to live, we should be saying, follow your dreams. Go for it. You know, life is full of risk. Become good at managing risk. And, you know, have a never give up spirit and all of that.
Your new show, Running Wild with Bear Grylls, The Challenge, features celebrities surviving the wild with you. So which guest impressed you the most with their outdoor skills?
Well, you know, I've been lucky to take some amazing people over the years, from, you know, I don't know, Julia Roberts to President Obama to Roger Federer to, you know, so many. And it's been, as I say, a huge privilege in my life to be able to introduce some of these adventure rookies to the outdoors and how the wild can build us all and give us a quiet confidence and a pride, give us the sort of things that money can't buy or fame doesn't always give people. So this season we really feel we've had some incredible guests. We took Bradley Cooper, Benedict Cumberbatch, Rita Ora, Russell Brand. That was a fun one.
Wow.
So many great people. And, you know, these guys don't need the money or the fame. They want the experience. They want what the wild can give us, which is always linked to confidence and to pride and to a sense of I've faced some hard things and some fears and come through it. And And it's what I've always loved about the wild, you know, from a young age, climbing with my dad when I was a kid. The dynamic has stayed the same, and I think the friendships with the running wild guests is always the best part of the show for me.
Bear, I've been a fan for a long, long time, and I hope I reach celebrity status so one day I could be on your show. But thanks for being on ours. But real quickly, we're running out of time.
Such a nice thing to say. You're already there, my friend. You're amazing.
Oh, Jeff.
Well, I think we're done here. No. Let's squeeze in this last one. You've eaten things like eyeballs, insects, live snakes. You've drank your own urine, all these different things. If you had a Bear Grylls restaurant, what would you put on your menu? What would be your specialty of all the weird things you've eaten?
Well, first of all, I think it would be a disaster. Nobody would come. I've actually got a great friend who runs a restaurant. He said, Bear, I'm going to do a burger. We're going to do the Bear Grylls burger. And they put, you know, lots of like dried maggots and mealworms in it. And then about 2 months later, he said it was a disaster. Yeah, everyone wanted to see it, but nobody wanted to eat it. So I'm not sure the restaurant would be great, but I don't know. I do like the natural way of living and of eating, not just when I'm out in the wild, but back home as well. I think we've got a lot to learn from nature. So I am definitely a grass-fed red meat, liver, eggs, fruit, honey sort of person when I'm back home. And when I'm out there, you definitely have to get into survival mode and widen that net a bit and go for the bugs and the grubs and the scorpions and the snakes. But that's when I'm in survival mode.
Wow, you're the best, my man. You're the best. Thank you.
Bear, thank you so much for joining us today. DBL Nation, be sure to catch his new show, Running Wild with Bear Grylls, The Challenge, out July 9th on Nat Geo. Thanks again, Bear. Congratulations on all your success. We'll be right back. Thank you.
So kind. I appreciate it.
For decades, Americans have believed that using hot or warm water would ensure that their clothes came out of the washing machine clean.
But recently, detergent companies have claimed that washing clothes in cold water is just as effective.
Tide is busting laundry's biggest myth. That cold water can't clean.
For years, climate activists have urged people to switch to cold water, saying it's better for the environment.
Energy Star says heating water accounts for about 90% of the energy needed to run a washer. So, less hot water used, more energy saved.
So let's verify. Is washing clothes in cold water just as effective as washing them in hot water? Our sources are Brian Sansoni from the American Cleaning Institute, General Electric, Consumer Reports, and the CDC. Brian Sansoni says advancements in technology for both detergents and washing machines mean cold water can not only get the job done as well as hot water, but cold water is actually better for your clothes in addition to the environment.
It certainly can lengthen the life of your fabrics and save energy.
Tests conducted by Consumer Reports that compare the efficacy of detergents at different temperatures confirm that you no longer have to use hot water to get clothes clean. And General Electric, a company that makes washing machines, says cold water can remove tough stains like grass and blood just as well as, if not better, than hot water.
Very simply put, cold water washing is good for your clothes, good for your wallet, and good for Mother Earth.
So we can verify, yes, washing clothes in cold water is just as effective as using hot water. If someone in your house is sick, our experts, including the CDC, suggest using hot water to ensure that germs don't spread.
But for your practical everyday laundering, cold water does the trick. With your Verify and a lot of laundry to do, I'm Ariante Till.
Walk into your favorite store and you'll see a wall of choices to protect your skin from the sun. A Verify viewer texted us asking about the difference between spray-on and lotion sunscreens. So let's verify. Are spray-on sunscreens as effective as lotions? Our sources are Harvard Health and 2 board-certified dermatologists to explain it's all about how you apply sunscreen.
I think it's easier with a lotion to make sure that you're getting full coverage. With a spray, you may not be as careful. So that is a consideration with the spray.
Dr. Rajani Kanta also says despite the advertising, you can't simply spray and go.
I recommend that you spray and then you make sure that you rub it in so that you're not missing any of those, you're not missing any spots.
Harvard Health found when spraying, most people apply just a quarter of what they need. Researchers recommend spraying each area for up to 6 seconds.
You know that you have enough when your skin glistens. If it's not glistening, you gotta put more.
But Dr. Danilo Del Campo says that doesn't mean sprays, when used properly, are any less effective than lotions.
Between a lotion that has SPF 30 and a spray that's SPF 30, they are equivalent. However, the difference is how do we apply it and the method that we apply it.
So we can verify, yes, spray-on sunscreens are as effective as lotions. However, they may be more difficult to use correctly than lotions. The doctors also say parents may want to use lotions for their children because it's harder to spray a good coating when kids are squirming around. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Welcome back. We've got some great products from our friends at Morning Save. Check them out. Steph, what do you have for us today?
Hey Tori, hi DBL Nation. Get ready to be excited for all our goodies that we've got today. Look at this, how snazzy. We've got the Shark Apex Upright Duo Clean Lift Away Vacuum.
Yes.
The self-cleaning brush roll takes on floors and carpets, and with the attachments you can go from cleaning down low to up high instantly.
Perfect.
Normally it's $460.
Right, I mean it's Shark, you know.
We've got it for $179.99. So that's saving 61%.
Oh my God, spring cleaning. Little late, but
talking
still
about
good.
spring cleaning, Tori, we've also got this, the True and Tidy Heavy Duty Steam Mop.
I need this.
So the wide surface mop head will deliver a really powerful chemical-free steam to clean your floors, and quickly and efficiently means no chemicals, no detergents, really, really good. So normally this is $104.
That's not that bad even.
We've got it for $39.99.
Okay, Stephanie.
So that's saving 62%. Now, this is something we've not seen before.
What is this?
It's the self-cleaning bidet attachment by Dude Product.
What?
Installation and use is super simple, you guys. This features adjustable pressure and a self-cleaning nozzle.
What?
So normally this is $111.
Yeah, those are expensive.
We've got it for $24.99.
Yes!
That's saving 77%.
I'm not gonna lie, Al Jackson, our co-host, swears by bidets. He's like, it changes your entire life.
Our last product today is the 5-pack Mercury Innovation Smart Wi-Fi LED light strip.
Oh, I like these.
With easy, damage-free installation, you can do this yourself. You can put them under your kitchen cabinets, around your bathroom mirrors, or on stairways. Your options are endless.
Nice.
So normally this is $100.
No.
And we have got a 5-pack for just $20. That's saving 80%.
Yes! Oh, I love that. All right, great products. Head on over to morningsave.com to snag these amazing deals at the lowest prices. Or you can even scan the QR code. It's right on screen. That will take you directly to these products on Morning Save's website. Steph, as always, thank you so much. Now, before we go, a very, very, very small handbag went up for auction recently. Here it is on someone's finger. You can barely see the microscopic bright green handbag. It's smaller than a single grain of sea salt. If you put it under a microscope, you can almost make out the Louis Vuitton LV logo and symbols. Well, get this, the bag sold for more than $63,000. For what? Like their pet ant? This is so embarrassing.
That could be a Jolly Rancher, just like a little part of it.
Well, what if it blows away?
I think you're 63,000 did.
Thank you all for tuning in. We hope you have a wonderful day. See you tomorrow.